What should we never do in front of deities or of our spiritual master?
Well, this is known as Seva Aparad. And there are also 10 Seva Aparads. Actually more, but more 10. For example, one should not come to the temple in a palanquin or a horse, riding on a horse or a chariot, like that. One should not enter the temple with shoes on. One should not offer obeisances with one hand. One should not speak loudly, angrily, or shout at anyone. One should not pass air in front of the deities. And more or less the same applies to act in this proper way in front of the spiritual master or elevated Vaishnavas. Same rule applies. You should come with clean clothes, for example, should come also be clean, having cleaned oneself. Then one should not turn the back towards the deities. One should not eat in front of the deities. They're like that. So in the spiritual master, more or less the same applies. Same thing applies.
Can I ask a question, Prabhupada?
Yes.
My question is that since a conditioned soul is so much dominated by the three modes of nature, and in spite of the fact that he is trying to make spiritual progress, he will also continue to make aparadh. So there will be a situation where both positive and negative will be there. So what can he do to be free from the aparadh that he has committed and aparadh that he may not make, he shouldn't make in future?
Well, you see, aparadh is made due to ignorance, avidya. In the Madhurya Kadambini, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, as well as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his Harinam Chintamani, has mentioned that the cause of offenses, any type of offense, is due to avidya, ignorance. Now, the only way to stop committing offenses is by getting rid of avidya. By removing avidya, automatically one stops committing offenses. So what is avidya? Avidya actually means one who does not have the proper understanding of what is sambandha gyan. Number two, one who does not know the conclusion of the scriptures as we have heard it from our spiritual master. The conclusion. And also, another cause, or rather another, is to not follow the instructions of the spiritual master. These three are most important factors by which we can get rid of avidya. By following the instructions of the spiritual masters, by hearing and understanding the conclusion of the scriptures, and understanding and living according to Sambandha Gyan. What is Sambandha Gyan? To understand it fundamentally. Then avidya is removed. So when avidya is removed, then automatically we become conscious or conscientious in avoiding aparadha. Conscientious. Prior to this, so long we are in ignorance, in avidya, we are unable to discriminate, distinguish between right action and right thought and wrong action and wrong thought. This discrimination is outside our grasp. So, again, it is only through devotional service that one gets rid of all that is dirty to the heart, dirty to the mind. And the devotional service begins with Shraddha or hearing. Just like Srila Rupa Goswami is saying that Shravan Adi Shuddha Chitte. Shravan Adi. Adi means the rest follows. Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, Vandan, Dasyam, Padas, like that. So, Shravan Adi Shuddha Chitte Karahe Uday. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that you, by the process of hearing, chanting and so forth, beginning with hearing, purify the heart, and automatically love of Godhead will manifest in the heart, because prema to the Lord is already perfected. One does not need to perfect it. It is already perfected, but it is covered. So it is not that we are performing sadhana and we are hearing and performing devotional service to perfect love of Godhead. No. Love of Godhead is already fully perfected. It just needs to be aroused in our heart. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karahe Uday. Uday means just like the sun is rising, going up. So Uday means rising and going up. This is the process. So it all begins with hearing. Begins with hearing. One has to hear properly. Most of the time, we think that we have already heard. And the same thing is being repeated. We are repeating the same thing because if we talk about something else, you will not be able to understand. Because we have not yet come to that level of realization. Srila Rupa Goswami and all our acharyas have written such very highly elevated esoteric thoughts, concepts and principles and truths. But how is it possible to understand? Because the absolute truth is not to be understood, it is to be experienced. This we have to understand. The absolute truth is not to be understood because we cannot understand it. Because our understanding is always through logical terms. And transcendental wisdom and absolute truth is transcendental to logic, transcendental to logic and dialectic. So, the only way is to hear a very humble state of mind, to hear very submissively. Oh, what I am hearing, it is like nectar pouring into my ears. I've never heard this before. And even if I've heard this before, I've never tasted it like this before. This nectar which is flowing into my ears. Because every word in the scriptures does not belong to this material world. These are all transcendental sound vibrations. And transcendental sound vibration is non-different from Krishna. And Krishna is all attractive, Krishna is all opulent, Krishna is all famous, Krishna is all powerful. Same thing with the sound vibration, the holy name. It has the same properties, same excellences. Therefore, the more we hear, the more our consciousness and heart becomes purified, and a strong feeling of attraction to hear Harikatha, to hear the holy name, begins to manifest in our heart. Very strong attraction and desire. Then all these offenses, of course, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has given 4 sources of offenses. There are 4 sources. First source is from the results of impious activities. The second source of anartha, these are all anarthas. Anartha means unwanted material contamination. Unwanted material contamination. And these material contaminations block our progress. So therefore, one has to remove these anarthas. There are 4 types of anarthas. Anarthas, unwanted material contamination, unwanted material impurities in the heart. We don't want it, but it's still there. We don't want it. We want actually to relish the holy name, the sweetness of the holy name. But it's not allowing us. So we don't want this contamination in our heart. We want to be free from these impurities. But it is there. So therefore, it is said that there are 4 types of anarthas. The first type is the result of impious activities. The second is the result of pious activities. Third is anarthas in the performance of bhakti. When we are performing bhakti, then by performing false, wrong, when we make mistakes in the performance of bhakti, it produces an anartha. In the beginning, we are making so many mistakes in executing sadhana and bhakti, and that produces. And offenses. Due to offenses, there are some unwanted material contamination. We commit offenses to the holy name, we commit offenses to the holy places, the dham. There's known as dham aparad, there's nam aparad, there's seva aparad, that is in the performance of deity worship. So these activities, when not properly performed, we generate anarthas. Now, these anarthas, the first three, due to impious deeds, due to pious deeds, and due to wrong performance of bhakti, these first three are removed by the stage of ashakti. By stage of ashakti, these three anarthas are removed. But the last one, anarthas produced by offenses, aparad, they are removed fully. They are partially removed before that, but they are fully removed when we attain prema. When you attain prema, then there is no more anarthas. All anarthas go on. But when all the anarthas are not gone, means if there's even one anartha, then there's always a chance to fall down. The chances, the example is given of Bharat Maharaj, who became first a deer, and then Jad Bharat. Also the example is given of Chitraketu, who becomes a demon, Vitrasura. So these are examples where a devotee of high order who attained bhav will fall down. But that fall down is actually not a real fall down, because they never leave the path of bhakti. And there's a temporary fall down. Like Vitras, Chitraketu became a demon, but a very, very pious demon, more pious than most devotees. More devoted than most devotees. And also Bharat Maharaj. And other instances are there. Other examples, these are the two burning examples. So they never forget their devotional mood of surrender in the stage of bhav bhakti. They very quickly return to the same position, and then go back to home, back to Godhead. But the other offenses, they are all removed by the stage of Ashakti, all gone. So therefore, the anarthas, that is the, avidya is the cause of offenses, avidya. So, the way to get rid of avidya is hearing mostly. Chanting must be also there, but more stress on hearing. Then gradually the consciousness becomes purified. Consciousness becomes purified because it becomes free from anxiety and fear. Becomes free. Then there's no feeling of what is going to happen, what is going to happen, why is this happening to me? When one becomes fearless, then no matter what miserable conditions one may have to experience, is never deviated from the path of bhakti. Never. So therefore, this constant hearing and chanting will remove all fear. And when the fear is gone, then one has absolutely no obstacles. Most of the obstacles are gone. Right now we are so fearful, if there's slight problem, any problem, however small, immediately, why is Krishna sending me such problem? I am a devotee. Why I should experience this problem? But it's not a problem. There's no problem. Our actual problem is that we are fearful. That is the real problem. So when we are able to purify our heart from fear and anxiety, it does not matter what may come in our life, even death. Just like Vitrasur. This Indra's weapon, thunderbolt weapon, fell down from his hand. Vitrasur lifted it up. Here, I am ready, kill me, I have the Lord in front of me. Fearless. So it doesn't matter what comes. When there's no fear, then you don't have fear of the death. And when one is, through hearing and chanting, so attached to the Lord, that when the time of death comes, one is not even aware how I have left my body. I've left it. I'm not even conscious. It has happened. In the Krishna book, there's this description from how a worm, caterpillar, is going from one leaf to the other. Exactly, the soul leaves one leaf and goes into the next one. Just very easily transition. No pain, no friction. The anxiety and fear that we have to face death is because we are not willing to give up this body. The thing is that at the time of birth, there are two personalities who are always accompanying us, always there, right from the birth. One is Paramatma, and the other is death. Paramatma is there, and so is Mr. Death. He's also there from the very first breath we take. But when the fear is gone, then there's no problem or situation in life that we are going to describe it as a problem. Any situation, we never describe it as a problem. It is a part of life. Those who have fear, those who are fearful, they have given this name, problem, to a particular situation. Because we don't like it. And what is this? Why should we at all like anything in this material world? What to speak of dislike? There's nothing in the material world that you can like, actually. Because as soon as you like, then you're in big, big danger. Never like anything. I like this food, I like that cloth, I like this seat. Why? These are all practical things. Whether I like it or not, I have to eat. But I want to eat particular something. Whether I like it or not, I have to wear clothes. Of course, in India there are still a sect, monks, who don't wear clothes. Still today. And there are servants, the disciples, who are walking along with them, like cloth covering, so that nobody sees their nakedness. Yeah. There are so many yogis also. Yeah. So, why did they do that? Because they don't want to get attached to this thing called cloth. Of course, living in a society one needs, but just imagine how many haute couture houses are there, and making millions and millions for something which is a basic need. It's a basic need. We're making millions, making a fool out of us. Anyhow, the Main point is, by hearing especially, one can become free from fear. And when one becomes free from fear, then the interesting thing is, one should also hear the holy name. Apanna samsitting ghoram jan namo vivasha grinan. One has to hear the holy name, even in an unconscious state. If one hears the name spoken by a devotee, then jad vibheti bhayam swayam, then fear personified is afraid. Oh, Krishna is there, let's run away. Jad bibheti swayam bhayam. Personified fear runs away. When once that happens, then this devotee will not see anything in life, any situation in life as problem. Problems don't exist. We create problem.
If I have a question regarding Aparat also. When we hear about, I have also a question regarding Aparat. When we hear about all these possibilities to make Aparat, knowingly or even unknowingly, what attitude one can develop not to lose hope or to serve in an innocent and natural way?
Well, if you're hearing properly how to be humbler than a blade of grass and becoming more tolerant than a tree, ready to offer respect to others without expecting any respect in return. Now, if we follow this very simple principle, then we will become free from fear and free from committing offenses. Otherwise, we don't even know what offenses are. We never knew that before. Even now, we are confused about what is the meaning of thinking that the scriptures, the Vedic scriptures, are exaggerating. To consider the glories of the holy name as mentioned in the scriptures to be exaggeration. You think like that. And that's an offense to the holy name. In fact, the scriptures cannot fully describe the glories of the holy name. Only partly can describe. So it's unlimited, the glories of the holy name. So to think that the scriptures are exaggerating the glories of the holy name, the potency of the holy name, there's an offense. But we don't even know the scriptures. So how are we going to, and we don't even know what the holy name, what the qualities and attributes of the holy, we don't know this. So therefore, we don't even have to know it. It's very difficult unless you study the scriptures thoroughly. But at least we can develop these qualities, becoming more humble than a blade of grass and more tolerant. That we can practice. Now if we do that, then automatically we will stop performing offenses. Automatically. We'll never come to that. Because the Paramatma and Chaita Guru sitting in the heart will immediately tell us, no, don't do that. That's an offense. Now we are not able to communicate with Paramatma or the Chaita Guru. Unable. Because there's too much contamination in the heart and mind. So there's no clarity. But as soon as through hearing it is being purified and purified and purified, then there's clarity. Oh, this is the voice, the words of Paramatma. Oh, this is the instruction of Chaita Guru. It will all become clear, crystal clear. But we have not experienced, so therefore it is very difficult for us to believe it. So, the main thing about spiritual life at any stage is to always continue. Always continue. Don't worry not to think about these qualities and how good or bad. Just continue. Then Krishna will certainly shower us with his mercy, seeing that we are sincerely trying. The only person in the material world the person in the we are indebted to or we are connected with Sadhu, Guru, Vaishnava and Krishna. These are our actual connections.
What I cannot understand is fearlessness arises out of feeling connected. But if I commit an offense, that means that I'm not longer connected. So what chance do I have then?
You already have worked out the formula. You've already, like a mathematic formula, you have already worked it out. So why ask then?
I cannot understand.
You don't understand. You simply go on hearing. Can you understand that?
Yes, but in order to serve, I must have
nothing to serve.
A feeling.
Can you simply go on hearing?
Yes, I can.
So that's all you need to do. The scriptures are not telling you to do anything more right now. The scriptures are saying you go on hearing. So where is the difficulty? Really?
What are the, can I ask?
Yeah?
What are the impurities which arises from pious activities?
Impurities.
Which come from the pious activities you do.
Pious activities.
So what is it?
Becoming attached to sense pleasure,
Oh,
wanting, desiring to attain the heavenly planets. So simply by hearing constantly, all these impurities will be purified. Then I will experience in my heart realization. I will be given the enlightenment so that I can move forward. That is why one has to simply go on hearing. If one makes a research of the Srimad Bhagavatam, then the number of times in the Srimad Bhagavat it mentions about hearing from the lips of a saintly person is so many times. So many times. In every possibility it talks of that. So if one can focus the mind on simply hearing, there's nothing else needed. Simply hear with sincerity. It's not difficult. You don't need to understand everything. Even if you don't understand, the scriptures are saying, don't worry, I know that you will not understand. Krishna knows that we will not be able to understand unless we attain a certain stage of elevation and realization. But still Krishna has revealed the scriptures, knowing fully well that only a very few people will understand, and then gradually others will come. So why did he do that in spite of that? He could have simply said no. So this hearing from the right source, that is important. Hearing from the right source. Then one becomes eligible. But our problem is that we are too impatient. And also we think, due to a false ego, that actually I've heard long enough. I've been hearing for months, for years I'm hearing. And now I should certainly know enough. This is our attitude. I've been hearing for such a long time. And I've heard this so many times, the same thing. That there is something new. New. What is this new? The transcendental knowledge never becomes old. Material knowledge and material information becomes, right from the beginning it's already old because it's a repetition. Sometimes, somewhere in the material world, the same thing has been told 1,000,000 times. But to us it is new. Oh, new. I have not been able to digest and understand what I have so far heard. I still want something new. This is our disease, to think that I already know. No. One's attitude should be, I don't know. I know nothing. It is our false ego that makes us think that this is old. That this is old. And therefore it has lost in value. Because it is old, it has lost in value. But it cannot be. Transcendental knowledge can never lose in value. It always gains in value. So one should not think that one needs to do a lot of things. Simply, we have the whole process that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us is very simplified. Now, if we can't take this simplified method, how are we going to take anything much more complicated? The simplified method is you go on hearing and go on feeling like you're lower than the grass, that you're more tolerant than a tree, ready to offer all respect to others without expecting any respect for oneself. This is the attitude, and go on hearing and chanting. Then you will see very soon Krishna will bless you. Certainly. It's a fact. But if you're constantly thinking, oh, I don't understand, oh, I've heard this so many times, and I'm hearing but nothing is happening, why is not anything happening? If so many before us have attained the spiritual world and eternal service at the lotus feet of Krishna, why we shall not be able to do it? It is our lack of faith. It is our lack of faith. And we think that to be humble means to always say, oh, I am fallen, I am this and that. That is not humility. Humility means to act like a servant. That is humility. And we can learn how to act like a servant by seeing the servants who are working for us. You tell them to do this, they will immediately do it. They're doing it for money, but nevertheless, they are not going to begin an argument. First you have to explain to me what you want. First you have to make me understand. Nothing. You simply do it and you'll do it. We cannot have this attitude of a servant. Simply has to do it. Just like a mother never questions when the child is hungry in the middle of the night, she will get up and give her breast milk. There's no questioning. Of course, it's very difficult, she's feeling sleepy, but she will do it. But when it comes to hearing and other things, devotional activities, then we have 1,000 problems and questions. Do it and you will experience it. And that your experience will be the proof. That will be the proof. Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna Prabhu, I have a question.
Yeah.
Many times one thinks that he has control over himself. But when the real situation presents itself, then one is found to be tottering. And then you feel that no, you were actually overconfident. What is to be done?
Yeah, we learn that way. See, by being able to overcome 2 or 3 or 4 such situations, we gain confidence. By the 5th attempt, by the 5th situation, we fail miserably. So that means we need to practice more. That is all. We have to practice more. The more we practice, the more perfect we can become.
Thank you.
Krishna is saying that one has to learn to do 2 things. Then, very good. And that is one is to become detached, and the other is to practice daily. Abhyas. Abhyas is very important. You practice daily anything, you have to go on practicing daily till it becomes a habit. And the other is to become detached, to not have any kind of attachment to anything material. So, like Prabhupada, you can't have both. You are attached to someone or something, and yet you want to serve Krishna. Cannot happen. Will not happen. Either, Krishna is saying, either you complete and fulfill your material desires first, do that. And then when you are exhausted, then you come to me. That's why Krishna is saying, give up all kinds of religion. What does it mean? Give up all kinds of attempts in the material world. Give up all other hopes that someday this will happen. Give up all other hopes. Simply have one single hope. When will Krishna make me a member of his intimate family? That's the only hope. So, Vairagyena and Abhyas Yogena. These two things. Detachment from matter and daily practice. Daily. It is due to thinking too much about ourselves. We think that I deserve very quickly to make advancements, very quickly to understand, very quickly this, very quickly. Because why? Because I'm somebody special. This thought is very, very dangerous. I am not special. I'm most insignificant. If the Lord does not shower His mercy, then I'm completely lost. In this humongous world where there are millions, about trillions, everything, I'm just in one single drop. Most insignificant. Nobody will care when I'm gone. Empty space. I'm not there anymore, my body is gone. So why I should consider that I am eligible to advance fast, quickly. Why is it not happening? Why is it not happening? I'm so special. I'm chanting for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 80 years. I'm something special. I'm not special. I'm most insignificant. Such great personalities have completely surrendered themselves at the lotus feet of Krishna. And they never consider themselves to be special, although they are special. And they never demand that I should be quickly advanced and understand everything. Who am I? Why should Krishna at all care for me? That I'm able to even chant, take Krishna's name, that alone is such a blessing. There are millions and millions and trillions of people who are speaking all the time. Go on yakking, and talking all nonsense. They never mention Krishna. Never mention Krishna. Just imagine. For hours they go on talking. And then there are these personalities, great sages, mystic yogis, demigods, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma. When they start speaking on Srimad Bhagavatam, for example, entire rishis, they come, thinkers, great wise men, they come, assemble to hear. and compare us to them. Where are we? Who cares for us? And because nobody cares for us, we are becoming so arrogant out of being neglected by everyone in order to get recognition. We are acting arrogantly. So that person, that devotee who is free from such false ego, alone will make very fast progress. And the wonderful thing is that such a devotee who is able to make fast progress due to being completely detached from matter doesn't even care or want to develop fast. Simply wants to engage in devotional service, that's all. Doesn't care. So we have to become like that. Don't care for anything. Simply desire to serve the Lord. Chanting is actually a prayer. Srila Prabhupada used to say, "Oh Lord, please engage me in your devotional service." That is the deep, profound meaning of chanting. Hare Krishna. So when Krishna so desires, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada blesses us, we shall very soon get to hear Harikatha once again. I thank all of you for your patient hearing. Hare Krishna and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare